It's just about having a cultural understanding and that curiosity to understand different worlds. It has an emotion. It has a human story at the core of it. You're telling a story of a person going through a journey, and you can relate and identify with that character. Forget the past in a way, put it down on paper and move on. I think the personal stories are the most creative, and that was my objective. It was always to tell stories that were personal and that would touch, move, and inspire an audience. Any artist, any architect, any kind of designer must have a style of their own kind of aesthetic quality. Everything about filmmaking is teamwork. This is a utopian idea, but if implemented, it can impact change. As someone from another culture, I will be pigeonholed into making films only about Indian people in America, South Asian sort of communities. And I don't want to do that. As artists, if we're true to our emotions, there's always an audience that can relate to it and can see themselves in the film that you're making. And that's the most important thing. That's the most important part of being a filmmaker or a storyteller. We thought that this idea was very powerful, and we felt that it could impact change, at least get people thinking, and that was what the intent of the film was. A filmmaker only tells one story his entire life. I don't really believe that. So you can't compete, you can't compare, and the range and the versatility that all of you displayed, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. It completely blew my mind. The point of cinema is not only entertainment. It is obviously to drive home a point. I wouldn't have been able to pull off the humor that I wrote in without the cast, because they were, constantly improvising on the dialogue that I wrote. And I don't want my films only to be entertainment. I want them to be informative also, in a way. It is only through artists and through their expression that we know that there are different ways of thinking and different kinds of worldviews that people come from, because artists tend to usually have very strong opinions, or at least have deep reflections on the times and the kind of people that they've been meeting, and everything is seen from a certain kind of observational vantage lens. The objective was always to tell personal stories. The objective was always to have fun while making your films.